You know, it's so fun when you start playing with energy, you start playing with all kinds of fun things. Because I swear to God, I don't know if I'm going to have 3 people in here or we're going to have a few more. And just because Unity does what Unity does and people are on Unity time, are we going to, how many people are going to show up? And it's so funny because my ego wants to think that's the most important thing. And what's the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, all I know is this in my heart and soul, I just think to myself, whoever's going to be here needs to be here and wants to be here. It's more or less going to be because of our collective energy, which I often talk about. And so it's always fun for me because I never know who's going to show up. But I'm just telling you right now, you look really good. You look really good. So, speaking of feeling really good, how's 2026 feeling for you? I don't know, for me personally, and I know not everybody is feeling this way, but it just felt like 2025 was pretty heavy for me. I had a lot of stuff going on, and it just feels like that energy is kind of letting go. And 2026 so far is feeling pretty good. That doesn't mean that there aren't things that are in my heart and in my soul as we watch certain things unfold. Of course it is. I can't sit there and be a part of this planet and ignore everything else that's going on. But having said that, on a personal level, I can tell you energetically, it's feeling good. It's feeling clean. It's feeling crisp. It's feeling like, I don't know, like a whole new vibration. It's like standing on the precipice of this new creation. And that's going to be what we're talking about as we go into 2026, this idea of, and this is what I keep hammering on, is this idea is I want you to imagine how many people are into different timelines or even know what I'm talking about when I say timelines. So I'm just like, okay, let me go a little bit woo-woo for 30 seconds, all right? So just imagine that you stand right here and all of a sudden in front of you, you have, I don't know, about 3,000 different timelines. What does that mean? You have 3,000 different futures. And here's the thing. You can focus on the one that looks like the same thing that's been going on for the last 30 or 40 years, and if you don't do anything about it, more than likely that's the timeline you're going to be following. And because you're so powerful and because you're divine, and that's how much juice you got inside of you, more than likely that's what's going to unfold. But here's the cool part when you start playing with this stuff is you come to the understanding where you know that that is one possibility, one of 3,000. And then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute. So in other words, I can choose a different timeline if I want to. And the reality and the truth of it is, yes, you can. And the only one who's saying that you can't choose a different timeline is Wah. And so for 2026, I'm going to invite you into choose the one that you want. Choose the one that fills your heart, your soul. Does that mean you bypass growth and development? No. Does it bypass your responsibilities? No. It doesn't mean any of that. It means, hold it, let me get this right. I can actually be responsible and I can take care of everything I'm supposed to take care of in my life, and yet I can use spiritual principles and acknowledge my full divinity, and I can pick a different timeline and live in a different way of being in 2026. And my answer to you is, hell yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so, I invite you into the land of 3,000 choices for 2026. Pick a good one. Pick one that touches your heart, touches your soul. Maybe it nudges you. Maybe it pushes you into a bigger, broader version of yourself, right? And so you have that kind of potential within you. And so we are super, super, super grateful that you're here this morning, as always. We get to create whatever we want to happen in here. So I say throw some fun in there, throw some magic, throw some healing, throw some miracles. I don't know. Let's make a great big pot of soup, if you will, of all the things that have the potential to happen here this morning, because nobody except us is going to limit what can happen in here.